Welcome to Luigi's Gaming Lounge. This is Luigi 8 Mario, and this is the 27th episode. Today, I am joined by Trip Hazard, aka
Barnaby. Hello.
And we are joined also by Commando Para, aka
Tony. Yo, what up? What up, my little homies? Yo, don't do drugs, stay in school.
ever the showman, never the showman, Tony.
Don't do drugs, do Xbox.
Yeah.
Xbox, yeah. That's the way, actually.
Well, today's episode, I would like us to discuss, which we've touched on in previous episodes, cloud gaming, which without a doubt is looking like it's going to play a massive part of the future. Not just in gaming, but just in technology in general. I sense some... I don't know if you saw the image regarding the Nvidia Geforce Now service, but basically Nvidia Geforce Now is Nvidia's streaming service, which, unlike other streaming services, with this you actually link up your existing accounts like Steam, Origin, Ubisoft, etc., and it gives you access to the games that you own, but they're streamed. So instead of the likes of, for example, we'll use Xbox for example, the cloud gaming on that, obviously you pay a subscription for playing games that they add and take away, but yeah, they Nvidia are doing it differently, which is good. The other thing I like about the way Nvidia offered this up is it opens up gaming opportunities for people who don't own a PC. I mean, we all know owning a decent PC to run games on costs a pretty penny. If providing you have a good internet connection, you know, eliminate the need to actually have a PC. You can use Nvidia on your phones, tablets, a laptop. It doesn't have to be anything special. Any device will run Nvidia Geforce Now. You know, it just, like I said, it just opens it up for people who are on obviously lower incomes, children who, you know, parents don't have, you know, loads of money to go spending on consoles, PCs. Yes, it's a monthly cost, but again, it's something that I find a lot of people will be able to make use of. Some information that released this week was that Nvidia Geforce Now are introducing a higher tier. Now, we've all heard of the Nvidia RTX cards, so they're doing a Geforce Now RTX 3080 tier, and this blows my mind because it says here, and I'm getting this now from the Nvidia website directly. New Geforce Now RTX 3080 memberships stream up to 1440p at 120 frames per second, gaming on PC and Mac with ultra low latency that rivals local gaming. Now, the ultra low latency, that is basically, you know, sort of like the response time between controller and what you see on the screen. I read somewhere, I'm pretty sure they've got it down to like 0.6 millisecond. That's why they can say it. So it's going to be almost impossible to see the difference playing on a local console that you have in your home or streaming this service. I mean, I'll stop there and let you guys have a little say. I mean, Barney, we'll start with you. What's your view on that so far?
Yeah, I'm all for streaming games, and I think it's certainly a step in the right direction. I think there are still some limitations to what you can do with it, if I understand correctly. So not all games will be available, regardless of whether they're in your Steam library or not.
That's right, yeah. I think
there's still some limitations. So I think.
Oh, sorry.
Go on.
I'll just quickly say, I believe there's around just over 1,000 games that you are able to play, and obviously, majority of the big hitters are there. You know, the sort of what people mainly play, or the big popular titles. But you are right in saying that not every single game you're able to play. Sorry to interrupt you there, Barney.
No, that's fine. No, that's the answer that I wanted. Yeah, so well, that's a minor issue really, because that's still a good selection of games. Really, fantastic selection actually. But I would like to ask: have they specified what the minimum bandwidth they'd need to get that kind of performance?
Do you know what? That's something I don't believe I've come across when I've been looking. I'm on there at the moment. It's probably in some sort of small print.
Because I do know that you could probably push out a 4K picture through most people's broadband connection, but then you've obviously got the inputs going the other way as well.
Yeah, that's right. Tony, what's your initial thoughts before I sort of delve a bit deeper on it?
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. Instead of, if we're looking at handheld devices and, retro games or a selection of games at small costs, and looking at the sense of, if you're traveling on a commute, you got a camper van, or you want to set up site, you don't have to take everything, every lead with you, everything. It's streaming. I think it's fantastic that this is being available, or will be available to customers. I definitely think what I'd like to see is, will there be the option of having the streaming service if you're on a flight, I don't know, on your holidays, once we go back to, when restrictions lift a bit more and it's a bit more eased, will we be able to use that like Spotify do with their music on mobile, where you can listen to music where you've downloaded on the app, and go from there. I'll be able to stream it to a certain degree, or have a connection like we do on trains, but on a plane. When on our travels. But again, I think it's fantastic. It's brilliant. I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Something else here. So I mentioned that it streams in 1440p resolution, which is obviously higher than full HD, 120 frames per second. So if somebody does have a TV or monitor, because TVs these days you can get 120 frames on selected TVs, you can take advantage of that, so your game will be running at 120 frames per second. That's just mind-blowing. Also, if you own an Nvidia Shield TV, such as myself, you will be able to...
Would you like to drop that in there?
Just drop that in there. Not just one, I have two. Anyway, that's how much I love them. But anyway...
I don't know, these Italians.
If you have an Nvidia Shield TV, you can actually stream in 4K HDR at 60 FPS. Now, come on, that is the future right there. 4K HDR, 60
That's
frames
pretty
per second.
pimp.
That is very pimp.
And I actually would prefer it, although I do take the mickey out of you sometimes, Luigi. I do actually think that streaming through a device is going to be better in the long run, rather than spending an absolute fortune on getting a high-end gaming rig.
Yes.
I think that's going to be better for everyone. Yes. I know some people who actually enjoy the process of building and tinkering with PCs, but for me, I just want to plug the box in, download a game, get playing.
Yeah, I mean, because not everybody wants, the hassle. Because, let's be honest, PC gaming can be a hassle, setting things up, it's not like a console where you turn it on and you get straight to your games. Whereas the streaming services now for this, for PC gaming, for example, it eliminates that process of having to log in and wait for things to load up, other programs and such. Like you said, in the very near future, it'll be apps on the TV. You click on it, it loads up the service. You select your game, boom, you're in. You know, it's going to be that simple. And I definitely think this is, step in the right direction, given as well that they've managed to get that latency so low. Again, it's when I heard it, it amazed me. Another bit of information that I really want to put across to you guys as well is obviously, they've done their homework and they've looked at what the most common hardware is on Steam, like what's used. So the average laptop on Steam, okay, the GeForce Now RTX 3080 membership will actually deliver an instant upgrade in performance. So it will actually perform at 70 times increase of the average laptop that is used on Steam.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, that's the sort of power and that's the sort of quality we're talking here, guys.
What are they retailing this at?
Can I just say as well? But that's one moment. I will get to that. So yeah, that's for laptops. Yeah, the average laptop and the average. Oh no, sorry. The most popular desktop configuration on Steam. This service will run 7 times faster or better, however you want to say it, in performance. So, yeah.
That sounds pretty pimp.
It sounds extremely pimp to me. Obviously, we're not just going to talk about, Nvidia's Geforce Now service, because there are many others out there.
This episode is sponsored by Nvidia.
Yeah. Do we know what this is going to be retailed at?
So if you're looking at because I think at the moment they're offering it in like a 6-month block. However, when it becomes more commonplace, it will go down to, you'll be able to pay monthly, because their sort of standard tier. You can pay monthly, which I think is about £8.99 a month, and then that gives you access on any of your devices to play the games available that you own and they can run.
I think they're looking at the website now. They actually do a free tier as well.
Yes,
I was 1 hour.
Yes, I was going to mention. Sorry, you're right there, Barney. They do offer a free tier. The downside to that is your sessions can be no longer than 1 hour long, and you don't have priority on the server. That means that if somebody with a paying subscription is waiting, or going on, you will be bumped to the back of the queue. So you may have a little wait time to get on.
But for free, you can't really complain, can you?
For free, you can't. I mean, I used it prior to me getting my PC. Obviously, Sam Terras, who's usually on the podcast also, I played some Counter-Strike through that service, the free service. So I obviously played for an hour because that's all I could do, but still, considering it didn't cost me anything,
that is presenting a hook to having this free service, much like games like if you use Fortnite or Wreckfest, it's as an example, then people start purchasing the bundle packs, the special sort of skins that you can have as well. I think this is brilliant. If it was me and I had a little try, I'd go, yes, worth the money. Especially if I'm going to gain more access, gain more of a priority in the sort of queue over those who are using it for free. It's going to be a nice little trust run because you've got no sort of concerns or in terms of, I don't know if it's for me. You get to, try before you buy.
Yeah.
I think that's fantastic.
And
I'm definitely interested.
And, also as well on top of everything else, when comparing like this cloud service to owning an actual system. With this cloud service, again, it can be used on pretty much anything, electronic, phones, tablets, laptops, Android boxes, whatever. So you have that freedom around the home as well, that you don't have to be sat playing in the same place.
Or one room, yeah.
Yeah, you can, if you think, I want to lay down in bed, and you've got a tablet, for example, or a laptop, open it up and load it up. There you go, straight.
Or if you want to get away from the missus or your partner, in that case, you go to the toilet. Yeah, I'm going to go to the toilet.
Yeah,
play game while she's sitting on there.
6 hours later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think I've got a dicky tummy. It's, you know what? This is brilliant. Yeah. What's your prediction, guys, in regards to overtaking PlayStation and Xbox for affordability? Do you think they'll have a sort of a rapid climb of subscribers?
Go on, Barney. You go.
Yeah, thank you. In a way, I think Xbox is already moving that way, because I believe you can already stream games using Xbox Game Pass service.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think probably all the major gaming companies are going to move that way, except maybe Nintendo, because they already do their own thing. But I can see both Sony and Microsoft moving that direction. So in the future, it could be a 3-horse race between... there might be a stronger tie-up between Nvidia and Steam, because I think Steam is by far and away the most popular PC gaming library service. So I think there could be a major player if they do keep close ties. But yeah, I think it's a move in the right direction, definitely, because we want to be moving really away from those old clunky boxes sat on a desk or sat on a TV unit in a living room.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to use any device you want. So if you want to use it on a laptop, you can. If you want to use it on a smart TV, you can. If you want to use it on your mobile phone, you can. So I think, more freedom and more availability of games for gamers is a good thing.
Yeah, 100%.
And for you, Luigi, same question to you.
Yeah, I pretty much echo everything that Barney's said there. I think Xbox and PlayStation both have their own streaming services. Obviously, you've got PlayStation Now, and then Xbox obviously has the Xbox Game Pass and the cloud service that they have. However, the difference being, with PlayStation, the one thing that's annoyed me for so long, they have not released an Android app for their cloud service, PlayStation Now. Now, if they released a cloud service for that, it would open it up to so many more users who don't own a PlayStation, who don't own a PC, but they own an Android phone. And again, it doesn't have to be the latest Android phone. It could be an Android phone that's 4, 5, 6 years old. As long as it's got access to the internet, they'll have access to the PlayStation games, and they're paying a fee to PlayStation for the privilege of playing their games.
Yeah, agreed. Go sort of leaning on that then. It's kind of got me thinking here, where we've discussed in one of our earlier episodes on Luigi's Gaming Lounge about love to see some form of option. If you work away in a hotel, you're not much of a gamer, or you are a gamer, and you just want to pick up a console, like there's the TV remote, and go, I'd like to pay for this service for 24 hours or for a week because I'm staying at your hotel. Just a bit of a downtime, give it a try. This actually sort of generates more interest to Joe Public, because not everyone's going to stay in a hotel. Not everyone, people are going to stay in their camper vans. People are going to be taking public, the commute to London every day or any major city. They can sit there and sort of engage with, sort of take an interest and let the time pass on a boring journey through this system. So, again, it just sounds too good to be true. But it's there. But I would be very interested in sort of parting from my money to have this service available to me.
Yeah, definitely. Also, I just want to mention as well, because we touched on like the free sort of tier where you get up to an hour. So with that free tier, I mean, there are games out there you can play that are free to play that you can that are supported by GeForce Now. For example, you can play Fortnite, you can play Apex Legends, Warframe, Counter-Strike Go. So those games, for example, somebody who can't even afford the subscription, they would still be able to play, an hour's session.
Yeah, and that's a decent session. You get a good couple of games in there, potentially.
Yeah, so an hour's session. They've not had to pay for a game either.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's amazing, really. I mean,
in a way, now this kind of time that we're living is one of the best times to be a gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's only going to get better.
The only question I have on this before we start running away on other things is, how is this, if there is the option, how compatible is this going to be for the virtual reality world of gaming? Is this going to have the software to keep up with it, to be able to sort of run these sort of programs?
In all honesty, that's something I've not really looked into. I should imagine. I mean, towards the end, we're going to speak on Facebook rebranding to Meta, and as it shows in that, basically everything's going to be loaded up through the internet. What you see through the glasses they've shown, for example. I know it's just like a mock-up, but that is what they're envisioning. And by that time, internet speeds are going to be even quicker than they are at the moment. So, information coming to you and sending out, I think it's just going to be that it's going to be so minimal, the latency, that you're not even going to be able to tell a difference. I think it's just gonna work. I don't know how they do it. To me, it's magic what they do, but that's what they're running for at the end of the day, and I'm positive that we will see that in the future. But yeah. One last thing before we move away from the GeForce Now service.
Oh, go on then.
So if you're an audiophile, it says here, gaming in your living room, ? Shield TV can render and stream PC games at 4K HDR at 60 frames per second and 7.1 surround sound.
It's pretty good.
So
it's pretty damn good.
Yes. So needless to say, I think we all here are quite impressed with that, that service.
On that, one question I have, because again, I am actually interested in this product.
Yeah.
If you had a sort of low resolution TV or product, i.e., a projector, will it still give it a good output? The reason I asked that, I've invested some time in projectors at the minute, and I've been looking at the 1080p, and there's like 60,000 lumen, and it's got about 55 hours of movie time or projection time. Sorry.
Yeah. So
it's something that I'm looking to invest, especially as an owner of a camper. Yeah. I'm looking to invest in a projector to have a larger screen than rather using a tablet. If this product, again, being small, compact, and readily available for me to use to pick up and go whilst I'm in my camper van, is this going to be compatible with a projector that's putting out, 600 lumen of a 1080p?
Yeah, so obviously the highest package displays up to 4K on the Shield TV. So yeah, even if you have the standard package, the £8.99 a month package, that streams up to 1080p. So long as though your device is capable of displaying 1080p, then that's exactly what
Amazing.
you'll get.
Absolutely amazing.
And just to touch on that, so the possibilities like that. I mean, mobile phones. I know there's some that don't, but you can get adapters where. For example, you can plug your mobile into, an video input. So, like you said, in regards to the projector, if your phone supported that, you could plug your phone into the projector, load up the app on your phone with your wireless Xbox controller or another controller, or even keyboard and mouse, and it will be playing on your phone and displaying through the projector.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's just possibilities are almost endless. Right, we've spent loads of time. We've spent 25 minutes on Geforce Now, but we'll move on from that. Now, another sort of player in the PC sort of end of things is Google's Stadia, however people want to pronounce it. Now, they do something. Well, it's not similar. It's not. I was going to say they do something similar, but with them, you actually purchase the. So you purchase the game. You purchase the right to play the game. Obviously, with Geforce Now, it's the games that you already own. With Stadia, it's you're having to actually purchase the game on their service. Right. And I'm a bit more. I don't overly like that for the fact that outside of that service, you don't have access to the game whatsoever, and that basically the games are very expensive through that service. But again, it's just brief talk on the Google Stadia. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of people out there that use it. It just doesn't, it's not my cup of tea. It doesn't blow me away as much as the Geforce Now service. Again, you can use it through like your web browser. You can use it, phone, tablets, and so on. So, I get why people like it, but why go for that when you've got the previous service we just spoke about? Anyway, anybody know anything on Google Stadia? You two? No?
Not really.
No, that's fine. So we'll go to the two sort of the two biggies here. We spoke briefly on Xbox and PlayStation. Now again, included in the Xbox Live Ultimate subscription, or Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, whatever it's called. So that includes your Xbox Live, that includes the Game Pass, and you also get included the Xbox, cloud service, streaming service, which, as we know, there's over 100 games to stream. Again, that can currently be used on, your laptop, desktop, without the need for it being anything special. You can use it phone, tablet, whatever you've got, you can use it. And for that cost of £11.99, bearing in mind, with obviously Geforce Now, you pay $8.99 and it's access to the games you own or free to play games. For the extra £3, you're actually getting a huge selection of games that you can play included in that price, which I think's brilliant. Now, PlayStation, again, as we've spoken, they're very limited. You can use the service on PC and your laptop and through PlayStation devices such as PS4, PS5. Again, the thing that really gets me with that is I still feel flabbergasted. I love that word. I still feel flabbergasted that they have not yet released an Android app for it. I mean, in my eyes, they need to. If they want to compete with the likes of Xbox and they want to compete with the likes of the Geforce Now service, PlayStation absolutely need to release an Android app or just a phone, Android iPhone app as well. I mean, have you guys tried out any of the cloud service at all by Xbox? Because obviously we all have that service, the Ultimate. Have either of you two tried it out?
I have not.
No.
In theory, it's a good idea, but actually, I hate playing on a small screen.
Oh, okay.
So I'm very rarely tempted to use it, and I haven't actually used it properly.
Right.
I have played some cross-platform games that are, for example, mobile, tablet, PC, and console, for example.
Okay.
And that experience is fine, but it can be a little bit finicky moving from a controller to a touchscreen.
Yeah.
So obviously there is the ability to use a Bluetooth controller with the mobile phone, but if you're carrying around extra equipment, you might as well have a dedicated gaming device or a home setup. Such as a smart TV or PC or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm just going back on what you said. I've lost my trail of thought now. Happens very easily.
For example, I know a lot of people don't mind using a touchscreen, and some people happily play FPSs on a mobile device, but no, that's not for me. I'll play different kinds of games on a mobile, no problem. But action-based ones, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, there's some platformers on the xCloud which play quite nicely, actually, with touch controls on
really?
phone and tablet. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you have a look on the Game Pass app, I don't know, do you have it installed at all on your phone?
I do, but I've never looked at the streaming.
Yeah, if you go to the section where it says cloud and have a look at some of the games there, you'll sort of automatically, when you see some of the games, you'll think, oh, I can see how that works with, touchscreen controls. Like you said, there's plenty of games available on the Google Play Store that you have to use touch controls, and they've done a very good job of, making it work, basically. For the games. What I was going to... I'll just quickly say this, Tony, sorry. What I was going to say, in regards to streaming, Barney, is I believe it's actually coming just before Christmas. They're adding in the option to stream the games from the Xbox Game Pass on your console. So if you don't have...
Much better.
Yeah, so if you don't have a game installed, your mates are saying, "Oh, let's play this game." You haven't got it installed. Obviously, you have to.
That happens to us.
It does a lot, doesn't it? But that opens
every time.
But that opens up the option then to say, "Oh yeah, I'll just load it up." You don't have to download it. You can just jump straight into to the game. So yeah, Tony, sorry, you was going to talk?
No, not at all. Really good points, gents. I myself, I've not used the system either. I've only used it purely just to browse and download games and use it for the chat service with you guys. But other than that, no, I've not taken advantage of the other products that are available to use for this. So, yeah, again, I should probably spend some more time, especially when I'm paying for a product. But I think with Now, it's one of them where you just want to quickly get up and go and play. But I think with how things have been, we're just busy, aren't we, with families, work.
Yeah.
And for us, it is a spontaneous. When we tend to play, it is for it to be spontaneous. But that's great, when we've got this option to then pick up and quickly go, then there's no faffing around and downloading. It's just straight on. So again, the only service I've really used of this is downloading a certain game or using the chat service on the app. But yeah, not really sort of spent any time on it, buddy.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I will also just shout out, because I know obviously I've said some a couple of bits there about PlayStation Now service. You sort of my gripes with it, but I did subscribe for 12 months. I think it it's coming up in the few months to being a year. I got it for like 30. I think I want to say £35 for the 12 months. Now, which, I was like, yeah, brilliant, £35, and it gives me 12 months to play all these games. I don't know if it's still available. There was a way this last week of actually getting 12 months service of it for £25.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that I'm so glad that I actually invested for the 12 months, because that is what introduced me to now one of my favourite games, Detroit Become Human, because it's a PlayStation exclusive. Also as well, I've got installed, because not only is it a streaming service, you can download certain games as well to your console. So for example, I really have been wanting to play The Last of Us 2, because I played the first and loved it, and now that's recently been added to the PlayStation Now service. So I mean, again, I've played through Detroit Become Human, and I'm going to play through The Last of Us 2. I mean, those two games alone, I've already got my £35 and more value from. Again, it's just that, again, Android app. But the service, if you're thinking about, anybody out there who's been thinking about trying out the PlayStation Now service, and you haven't done so yet, because I know it's not as popular as the Game Pass, I do suggest giving it a go. If you can get it for a good price, the 25, 30, £35 mark for 12 months, without hesitation. There's some really good games in there as well. Also another one, Infamous Second Son. I don't know if you guys have played that. It was released on PS4. Brilliant game. But yeah, there are plenty of other cloud services out there for gaming. There's a lot of smaller companies as well, but we could be here all day talking about it. So yeah, we've stuck with sort of like the big boys in the cloud service. Now, I wanted to finish up just by discussing the Facebook announcements about the Metaverse and their rebranding to Meta, because it sort of entwines with cloud service, Now, for anybody that doesn't know, Metaverse, I suppose it's almost like a whole different type of internet, where you can do pretty much whatever you like, really. One thing I found very interesting within the presentation that Mark Zuckerberg gave was, he was saying basically in the future, you won't need to own a TV, because you'll put the glasses on, for example, and say, people who have created different types of TVs, like digitally, be a bit like buying an app. You can purchase it, and when you put the glasses on, it will be in a certain part of your room, because you've got the glasses on, and you can see the TV in the room through the glasses. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I mean, that blew my mind. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys? I mean, Barney, did you want to weigh in on what you thought?
I think that's very plausible. I think very plausible.
It's all augmented reality, isn't it?
Exactly, that's right. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of an analog, but I suppose that the closest is the internet when it was first introduced to the mainstream.
Yeah.
Some people saw it as the future, as other people saw it as just being a passing fad.
Yeah.
But it's grown and grown, and now it's indispensable to modern life. and you can't really function without like some kind of data connection.
It pretty much
completely.
I mean, it pretty much is a necessity these days, isn't it?
And I think probably we'll come to see augmented reality in the same way. Once we've had like a week with it, a month with it, we won't be able to go back to pre-AR life.
Yeah, no, I agree. Tony, what's your sort of initial thoughts on it?
Yeah, I see it good. I think for some people, it can be. I'm gonna look at this at two sort of ends here, pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
I think some people use it and they will, use it as a means of escape. But then I do think there'll be some people who use it as sort of to wind down from a hard day in the office or whatever that may be. But
Yeah.
I do think it gives you a different sense of reality. And Japan. I just want to bring it up there. In Japan, there's and China, they've got these systems sort of in place where they've got virtual girlfriends, and there's some of these guys are virgins.
I hadn't even considered that.
Where are we going with this?
You could have like be like the star in like your own virtual brothel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I definitely find this product its next stage. I can see it doing so well for, shall we say, any medical treatment. If you're not there, for a doctor to analyze you from his office or his home while they're on call. But then for people who are having a hard time, who use it as a means of escape, and will they adapt? Will they just run for that as reality, which it's not? It's a virtual reality. But I can see a lot of good and a lot of bad. I think people's mental health can be looked at in both ways, good and bad. But from the video, how they've pitched it with the graphics, detail in the background, it's really attractive. I must admit that, and for the shareholders and for those who are going to take use of this product, it's going to generate a lot of interest. And I know Facebook has, and they've got these other platforms such as, WhatsApp and Instagram, so on and so forth. But I really do see good and bad things from this. And I think it depends on the individual and how you use it, much like Facebook now. I'm not.
Well, I think that's just even the internet in general, because obviously with the internet, I mean, we have what's known as the dark web, where the likes of criminals can use it without pretty much without being traced and so on. I think no matter, I do 100%. Agree with you, Tony, and get what you're saying there. But I think that's sort of a problem that's never going to go away, regardless of what service or what things we have. There's always going to be bad people, unfortunately.
Yeah. Again, it's a very cool product. It's definitely. I think it's going to take us a while to sort of get used to it.
Yeah.
In terms of like we have with mobile phones, it's taken us a few years to sort of, and it's now part of our daily life. What have you got? Your keys, your wallet, your watch, or an phone. And now this is probably going to be right. What am I going to do this evening? Right, I'm going to have a bit of virtual reality time. I'm going to go to this different world that I live in.
Well, I was going to say,
chill out.
Yeah, I mean, I was also going to say, how like obviously we've done the meet-up and had a gaming session at mine, for example, or when we just have gaming sessions in general. When this technology comes to fruition properly and it works properly, the possibility of just being able to stick on the glasses and you can actually see your friends around you and like you're gaming in the same room. Do you know what I mean? I mean, how cool.
Just one step closer to the Matrix.
Yes, exactly. I mean,
I was thinking this,
just plug your brain straight in.
Yeah.
I was literally thinking this, and I didn't think anyone would get it, but hey, I was thinking the same thing, mate, and yeah, it's exactly what I was thinking. But I can see a lot of good going from this, and I think, you know, in terms of simulators, this is going to take over from simulators. You can actually physically do some mechanics if you wanted to learn about mechanics, and then from there, go from there. You can then go, right, your tutor could be saying, right, you need to get this tool, do this, or even surgery. You know, I see a lot of use for it in the educational side of things, how people can sort of use it for the good. And but again, it's really hard. I sound like I'm rambling here, but I don't know how to put it into words, but it's a cool idea. All I can say at this moment, it's a really cool idea. And I think it's going to take a long time till we get used to it.
Yeah, I think it's something that we all are going to have to wrap our heads around a bit, you know, because it's you know, in one sense it's alien to us, but you know, at the end of the day, these sort of things that are being worked on are things that we used to see in, you know, old sci-fi movies and things, which at the time people probably thought would never be able to happen. But you know, here we are. Does anybody else want to? Do you want to say anything else on that, Barney? Or are you all good?
I haven't actually been the most studious in doing the research on that, so I'm afraid I haven't got that much more to add.
No, it's my
observations from the summary.
Yeah, no, I put my hands up, everybody. I was very naughty and didn't give the guys much notice on what we was discussing. So
you just like to keep us on.
I like to keep you on your toes, you see, because
we live in a constant state of fear. Is Luigi going to launch another podcast?
Well,
I need to know everything about the gaming industry ever.
Well, you see, the thing is, right, because of, as we all know, Luigi's Gaming Lounge podcast is not scripted at all, other than me sort of introducing the guys and shouting out the email to you know, contact us, which I will do in a moment. So it's sort of, sometimes I feel like if you haven't got much time and I'm giving you the information, you know, through like this discussing, quite often I get your sort of true initial reactions, whereas you know,
you like to take us by surprise, do you?
I love to take you guys by surprise. Right,
PG.
It is PG. What do you think I was talking about? Where's your mind going? Get it out the gutter, Tony.
I don't know.
So yeah, people listening, if you would like to contact us here at Luigi's Gaming Lounge, you can do so by emailing us at luigisgaminglounge@gmail.com. That's luigisgaminglounge@gmail.com. Any questions you want answers from, or you know, just want to just come by and say hi, please do. But yeah, that's episode.
Can I just make a shout out to my homies? You know, the ones who died. You know, Bloods and Crips. You know,
T-Dog. T-Dog. Go away.
And then also, if you like this channel and this podcast, please feel free to comment on my podcast where we talk about cooler things.
Shut up. just ignore. Just ignore Tony. Yeah. So yeah, that's episode 27, discussing cloud services. And just a brief conversation on Facebook's sort of metaverse that they're wanting to create. I've had a good conversation, and I hope you two, Tony and Barney, I hope
Definitely.
you two have enjoyed the conversation tonight.
Yep. As always, of course. Thank you.
Brilliant. And for everybody... Oh, what was that, Tony?
No, just saying thank you for the invite. Thoroughly enjoyed it this evening, because normally it's not as good as my channel.
Listen, the non-existent channel.
That's what you think. I've got 3,000 subscribers. I've got merchandise.
Just keeping it on the down.
Hey, good. If that's true, good on you, my friend.
I'm selling doubles with every T-shirt.
But no, for guys listening and, returning listeners as well, thank you so much for the support and listening to the podcast. It's very much appreciated. And enjoy your evening, your day, whenever you're listening, and we'll be back with you for episode 28. See you later, guys.
See you later.
Bye.